So Star Trek Picard, in its third season, continues on with its sixth episode. That leaves only 4 to go. Yeah. Well, speaking of 4, as of now, I'm still convinced the 4th episode was their best episode. But anyway, this one was called The Bounty, and it's a reference to another nod to past Star Trek. And there's quite a few, and it's to be expected. It's a reunion and goodbye show of the Next Generation. But boy, is there an awful lot of Easter eggs from the original series. Most notably their films, but you know. And that sort of thing you could expect in the opening episodes, but well, what are you gonna do? It's not the end of the world. You know, what are you gonna do? So they're on the run, you know, they're fugitives now, and it's pretty obvious the Federation has been infiltrated. And so a bunch of Federation ships show up looking for them, so you get a lot of different Federation starships zipping in and out. And of course, you know, realistically, it would only take a few perfectly positioned changelings to manipulate the Federation into thinking, well, the Titan has become a rogue ship and they need to be brought in, and that sort of thing. So more of that than saying everybody has been taken over by the body snatchers, you know. So anyway, some things that I thought would happen didn't happen differently, and this goes all the way back to the trailer that was showing you things. So you finally get to the point of, hey, what was Professor Moriarty doing there? Well, he shows up here, and it's because Riker, Worf, and Raffi are recruited onto they're being to board the Titan, join the crew after they talked with Worf the last episode, and they decide, hey, we got to get to the Daystrom Institute and figure out what the hell's going on. And so they go there, and part of the security system is using a holographic technology, and there's all these clues in it about what they're going to, and it's already pretty obvious. So Moriarty was not a big villain for the series or anything like that. He just appears in this program and gives them a challenge. Riker figures it out as they utilize Riker's first meeting with Data in this scene. And they use the footage from the old show there as Riker's remembering this, and it looked pretty good. so they do this, and finally they get another set. Now I'm sure they just try to move panels around and stuff because they're basically just going up and down a hall. But you shoot it from different angles, it looks like they're going deeper and deeper into this facility. And they finally get to, hey, what's being hidden in here? And it's Data. But how can that be? Well, they do explain it. So after killing Data off again, it turns out Sung's, his grandson or what have you, decided he wanted a Gollum body too, as he referred to it, that he did for Picard. And but he decided that was the wrong thing to do. He shouldn't be seeking that. He needed to create a new life. So this Data is a hybrid of all the other Datas. Meaning Lore's personalities in there, which why would you do that? Data is in there, of course, despite his wish to never come back, but well, it's a copy of him, you know. And Lal is in there. I wouldn't have thought that anyone kept record of that, but I assume someone within the Federation stole it and lied to them or what have you. I don't know. And B4, you know, hey, he's around, so his head's still there, so they hooked that up to create. They wanted this new well, that was what Sung was working on, but it appears the Daystrom Institute was making use of the Data brain, if you will, to be their main computer, that sort of thing. But anyway, there's an old Data, and he's utilized to be alive, so he ages. But if he's a new android, how long did he sit there? Because he looks really old. So it seems like they could have come up with some other explanation for this, or that Sung himself is the hybrid, and that's why he looks old. And he would have yellow eyes, but he would have Data's memories in him and stuff. I don't know. It's a roundabout way. They say, oh boy, did we screw up killing Data, huh? When you could have just had an aging B4 and just say, well, he was programmed to age so he could be more human or whatever. But so he's a new life form and all that, blah blah blah, whatever they got to get to have Prince Briner come in so they can reunite the whole crew. From the trailer and the way the looks he was making, I thought, oh, they're bringing Lore back, and that could have been a role for Brent Spiner to come into it. And that, because whatever became of Lore, I guess they're just going to go with it. Oh, he's dead. Is he? And that he could have been in on this plot with the changelings, but at the last minute, he turns and realizes, his brother Data wouldn't want him doing that, or something like that, and he makes a noble sacrifice for the victory against the invasion or whatever. So, no, that's not the deal, but he does know something of their plans, but his mind is all jumbled because he's got several personalities in there at once, which was a really dumb idea, but, well, Sung did it for some reason. So, so they escape, but meanwhile, the Titan had to leave because the Starfleet showed up at the Daystrom Institute as well, and so Picard goes to get help. Where does he go? Well, he goes to the Starship Museum. And it's a big space station, and parked outside it are all the old starships. The Constitution class from the old days is there. The second Enterprise that Kirk had from the movies is there, and they check that out there. So they get a little tour of them. The Defiant is shown. The Voyager, so Seven can have a moment. And then the Bounty. Remember that one? Yes, that was the bird of prey from Search for Spock in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. And they go, oh, that was that thing they did with the whales. And yeah, that's right, they did. And as luck would have it, they need a cloaking device because, they're on the run and stuff. And also, as luck would have it, they can't figure out, hey, how come the Starfleet is able to find us so easily? And it's because all the ships are connected. And so you would think Captain Shaw would know that, but, well, I guess he didn't. So, I don't know if they thought that, hey, better shut off that transponder. I don't know. And you would think this is only something recent. I mean, I would have thought there'd be something of that nature from quite a while within the fleet. But anyway, so meanwhile, who's in command of the museum? Well, it's Geordi. So you get Geordi, and that's appropriate because you have Geordi there helping Data come back. And really, if you're going to have Data stories, which is what they should have done to begin with, if anybody was the best friend of Data, it was Geordi. And so I don't think any of the crew would mourn him more than Geordi would. And that would have made a much better story. But, all this stuff about Picard loved Data. And so anyway, what are you going to do? So there's a nice scene when Data comes to, and he recognizes him, and, Geordi's happy about it and all that stuff, but he's still a mess in his mind. And meanwhile, of course, Geordi's daughter is on board the Titan, and there's some distance between them. Some problems. And turns out she's got a sister who's... That was kind of odd. I don't know if it's just the actress wasn't that great, or she doesn't seem to have much relationship with her sister. She's not mean to her or anything, but it's just not well done. But Sydney, who's the pilot on the Titan, between her and Geordi is not bad. And but Geordi is just trying to protect his daughters, and he's like, Picard, I want to help you, but I can't. This is too much trouble, and my daughters are at risk, and I'm not going to do that. And that's his position, and Picard's like, yeah, I understand. So we got to try something else, and he wants to leave. Meanwhile, a young LaForge and Jack have decided, hey, let's steal the cloaking device and put it on the Titan and use that to escape with. So that's their plan. Meanwhile, by doing this, they alerted Starfleet, so they arrived. So now Geordi's stuck with them as well. So there you go. Geordi's on board, and off they go. He's like, oh, man. So there goes his career, you know. He's a Commodore now, so how about that? He outranks all of them. But meanwhile, well, he's there to help out with Data and trying to figure out what that's all about. But the thing about the ships, they even showed the Enterprise from the Next Generation films, the one that replaced Enterprise D, Enterprise E. And I thought, oh, you know what? I think they're going to put since they're older ships, they could move on to one of those, put the cloaking device in it, and take off, and they can't detect it. But instead, they just put the cloaking device on the Titan, and yeah, that's odd. So anyway, the big thing, what were they after? And Data has the information in him, and they find out he's able to do a projection through his eyes. And they're after Picard's original body. It's still in deep freeze, and which reinforces, this is not the real Picard. So just maybe say, hey, you know what? Your brain is actually still alive within this suspended animation body, and it's projected into the android body. That away, you could say this is Picard. He's like, oh, I didn't realize. Well, how about that? I don't know. And they figure out a way to revive his original body so he can be Picard again, maybe. I doubt it. Because I think it was Burnett's channel. It was like he had seen it before, and someone asked him in his chat, "Hey, do they fix the Android Picard thing?" And he says, "No, they make fun of it though." And that's not gonna cut it. So, okay, they want Picard's body. And that's that. Meanwhile, Riker, in order to help Worf and Raffi escape with Data, got captured, and so there he is, and they put him through the ringer, and then what's her name, Vadic, kills her own guys who were beating him up, trying to get answers or whatever, and then he's like, "Huh, you think I'm going to talk to you?" And she says, "Yeah, you will." And they turn around, and there's Deanna Troi. She's also been captured, so of course Riker is in a bad position now, isn't he? And so there you are. There you are. Yeah. So there's stupid things in it. For what it wasn't too bad, but still, episode 4 is the best they've done. But still, wow, boy, am I blown away now? And I realize what everybody was talking about, why good it. No, not really, because this is still going with the metric. It's better than Picard season 2 and 3, or season 1 and 2. And well, yeah, that wouldn't take much. Oh man, if this had been season 1 of Picard, everyone's attitude would be a lot different. And there's truth to that, because this is just an adequate Star Trek show. The attempts of Strange New Worlds was to be, but all they did was make it episodic, which is good, but it was a terrible show. They still don't know how to write any of this stuff. So they've upped the ante for this one just a bit. But man, with only 4 episodes left, not seeing it all is that great wonder. But it's a send-off for Star Trek, because after the damage done, if there's going to be any more Star Trek, it'll be a long time. Because even if this was a smash hit, what are you going to do? It's a goodbye show. You can't follow it up anything. Well, I guess Star Trek Titan with Captain Shaw? I mean, you can try, but but it's too bad. because this kind of is what all you had to do was just some, basically adequate Star Trek show. And probably, especially after getting absolute crap from STD and the like. Yeah, it might have won some people over, but, well, far too little, too late.